Hi guys, welcome back to the Simple Happy Life. I'm going to share with you my homeschool planner. Now I've tried other homeschool planners and teacher planners, but they haven't really worked for me. The paper ones, I've used Homeschool Planner. It's an online homeschool planner and I really like it, but sometimes it can be kind of overwhelming in that there's all the things to check off. But really I just want something where I can kind of write out my plans and then record kind of like, I guess, back planning. I think that's a term from Julie Bogart, where you write down what you actually did, and I think that's been really helpful, but I wanted a bigger space to do that outside of my traveler's notebook. So while I'll be using that daily, I will be using this consistently as well. So I couldn't find one that I really liked, so I decided to Franken plan, and I've done that with other planner systems like the Happy Planner, where I would take, you know, some pages from this planner, pages from that planner, and do that. So how I'm setting up this one is going to Etsy, where some to support some mamas who have done this, because we've only been homeschooling for about 2 years, who have done this, who've thought through this, who've created planners. So, you know, maybe they don't have all the pages that I want, but I'm just going to pull from different shops. So let me show you how I thought about setting up my notebook first. I kind of sat down and I wrote out these pages that I wanted, and you can see that I've already like gone through and looked at Etsy shops and found planner pages. So I wanted like a pretty book tracker, I wanted a book list, birthdays at a glance, because I want my boys to make cards for our family members this year, and then weekly planning pages, curriculum pages, and so you can see all this. And like I just probably will just put this on a random or like a dot grid piece of paper, like what we want to learn page. My boys, I think that's been really helpful for us and me to go back through when planning things, because I ask them what they want to learn, and if they say I want to learn something about, you know, dinosaurs or whatever, then I'll find either we'll just do a library book haul about it, or I'll create or find a unit study about it, or either, you know, assign them reading and then have them do a report and share it with us. So I think that that's a really important list to have in your homeschool planner, or, you know, wherever, just to have that type of list going. So now I haven't even put the pages in the discs, but I have them in the notebook. So I'm just gonna flip through and show you that, and then I'm gonna set it up because we start homeschooling, and I'm excited to get going. We start homeschooling in like 2 days, and I already know what I want to do, but I just kind of want to get it down on paper. So when you open it up, again, this is Arc Planner. I got it from Staples, disc bound, and I haven't even labeled my dividers yet. So, but you see, this is really pretty, and I do not remember all the names of these shops, so I will link them below. And I'll try to like maybe put some text to show what the shop, where these pages came from. But I just printed on gray and white paper throughout, just to keep it simple, and add a little bit of color without really adding color. But this is gonna be like my read aloud tracker, and so I thought it was really sweet. We're about to start the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, so I'm just gonna track our books for 2020. So these are books I've read, and on the back, I don't know if there's just like 2 options. You could just use either or, but because it came with 2 in the download, I just printed them back to back, and that could have been how it was supposed to be. I really don't know, but I wrote the author on the back, and so of the same, you know, the book. So I thought, you know, that might be kind of a cute way to record, and then just to have it like where I can write out the actual book and like the date when we read it. And so that is that. So on this first tab, I plan to put yearly, or year at a glance, because you open it up and it has an attendance sheet. I think this is like a really just nice way to see what we've done. So I'll just keep this for all of 2020 and mark it off. And I think this will be a really satisfying page to see as we go through. We usually, I feel like we've ended up doing more than 180 days, but I'm gonna track it. And then track it there. And then this is just a yearly glance, and I'll go ahead and like kind of mark off the weeks that we will be schooling and the weeks we'll be taking a break. And this one I'll probably just leave clean, just in case something happens and we need to switch it up. I have just a blank one to see And then birthdays here. Well, actually, I'll probably put something over this. Let's see. Something over this, like washi or something, because I want this to be our year at a glance. So like in July, I need to start looking for camps, or like camps I want to sign them up for, or things like that. Or maybe I'll actually take that back. I will be doing that in May, looking at camps to sign them up for the month of July. Camps fill up quickly around here. And then birthdays here, our family, friends, track that there. And then this is just some dot grid template that I found on Etsy as well. And then, so I think right there we've been through 2 different shops. So I really don't like when pages are blank on the back, so maybe I'll put something right here. But so this is a different shop, and this is what I wanted for my monthly. I didn't want or need a lot of space for this because I have my other planner where I keep my monthly, but it's just nice to kind of have all the homeschool stuff at a glance. And then my boys have this same glance on their homeschool planner calendars that they can see. So this is just so I can have a visual, so I didn't need, you know, to take up that much space with a two-page spread. And this is kind of what I want to do for our monthly. To-dos, focus, you know, book lists, to borrow, supplies, all that kind of stuff right there. And then I just have in here to not keep it too chunky into July, because then we take a break. We take a break in July, and then we start back in August. So I'll just go ahead and take these pages out and put it in, because this is a pretty thin notebook, and you can get larger discs, but I kind of like that it's thin. So in this next section, so that divider is labeled monthly. This is going to be our weekly. And so weekly, I just kind of want to back record the things that we've done kind of neatly, because in my other planner, it's just random thoughts like throughout the day, what we did. And that's actually, I mean, that's really helpful. And if that's all I had, then I would rather have that in my traveler's notebook than this. But I think this will be nice to kind of see what we actually did kind of written down. And I know that I have this on my homeschool planet, but I have been really inconsistent with keeping up with you know, checking off everything and moving everything forward. So I think I'm going to move my focus to this, and just certain things I know the boys will need, like links, use that for that, because that's easier for me than having them bookmark everything. They don't seem to get that yet. So I have just printed the weeks, and so it will be like this, just every week, just really simple. And then this next tab are kind of like planning pages. And so I have a field trip bucket list. I thought this was really sweet list to have. I know the field trip planners are great, but this is kind of nice just to have this list of places that we want to go and things we want to explore and do. And then this, so I do 5 weeks on, 1 week off. And so I plan for 4 weeks, and then we kind of review game, school, field trip the 5th week. And then so I wanted to be able to kind of plan those out, like what we're going to be focusing on during those 4 weeks. And that switches up like between history and science and geography, and you know, what we focus on in language arts. So math is pretty consistent though. We stay kind of just going with the program. And I don't know that I will use this. I've not used this before, but topics of the week, I think that will be kind of sweet, because we end up kind of having a theme, I guess, or something we want to talk about, books we want to read. So I will, I think I'll be using that. And then we have a weekly timetable, and I don't know, this kind of helps me with our daily flow. And if I'm not, you know, doing reading at, you know, 10:30, that's okay, but it kind of, you know, gives me a flow, because I do like to end around 1, because a lot of times they have afternoon homeschool classes. So like this semester, they've got a coding class and they've got a science class at our local museum. They're doing, as far as like physical things, they're going to be doing karate and hip hop dance and playing football this season. And so, and then there's some local events, well, local places that host homeschool days. So like our rock climbing gym near us has homeschool day, and so we'll do that. And so I'll write those activities in as well. And so that's why I like to kind of be done by then. But I think, you know, 3-4 hours a day is good for us. And then they have those other classes. So they get quite a bit, I think, anyway. And we school 5 days a week. And so this is a reading list. And then I just printed it again on the back. And then these units, because really I follow the curriculums that I use as far as language arts and the other things, but science and history, I kind of have been piecing together. So I printed out these pages because I thought that would be a good way to do that. And so I have like 5-7 weeks and then a week for testing. So I just have, I'm sorry, I have 7 5 weeks and then a week for testing. And so I have 7 of these pages printed. Hopefully that made sense. Okay, and so in this next divider, the last one is our like tracking pages. So actually I already have this page up front, so I don't know if I need this one here. But I was thinking maybe just like our picture book read alouds, and the other one's more of our chapter book read alouds. We'll see. And then this one for independent reading lists for the kids. So I printed one for each of them, and I may need to print more. And then a mom's book list, because I want to do more reading of words that have, of books that have more than 3 syllable words. And then attendance for both of them, just to be able to kind of file away with their schoolwork or in their portfolio for the year, but just to kind of have that going and tracking that there. And then just the curriculum that I'm using for each of the boys over the year, the curriculum that I'm using for us as we do things together. Like we usually do like science, history, geography, art, those type of things together. That's what we've done in the past. And we will see about this year. I'm thinking we will still be able to do that, but we'll see. And then curriculum budget like tracker. And I'm just going to use this for all of our resources. So any manipulatives or things like that that I purchased will be recorded here as well. And yeah, and then this website and passwords. Now I use LastPass on my computer to keep track of everything, but sometimes it's nice just to have it written down. So these last few pages, like I said, this is an ARC planner. These pages came in the notebook, and it was full of these pages. And the dividers were not included. They were separate. But again, I got it all from Staples. And so I'm really happy with this setup. I think this will give me what I need. And it's so flexible that if you know, there is another page that I need, or a page that's not working, I can just take it right out and replace it, you know, or find another little shop or create a page to put in here. So that is my homeschool planner. I'm putting this friction pin in here so you can see it. It's in this pin loop here. So that is my homeschool planner setup for 2020. If you have any thoughts on this, let me know. If you have any questions about it, let me know in the comments below. If you have a video you've created about your homeschool planner, I'd love to see it, and I'm sure others would too that are watching this. Please link it below. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe, and I will be back with more. And I hope that you are doing well, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.